The C2C conflict to coexistence approach has been developed for projects and programs that are looking to manage human-wildlife conflict at local, landscape, and regional levels. Around the world, human-wildlife conflict is increasingly challenging the well-being of people and wildlife and leading to a decrease in people's tolerance for conservation efforts. It adds to and exacerbates multiple threats that drive species to extinction. Human-wildlife conflict is a significant threat to conservation and livelihoods, among other issues, and should be addressed at the scale equal to its impact and importance to both people and wildlife. Human-wildlife conflict is a complex issue that is influenced by multiple diverse factors which need to be considered in any strategy for effective conflict management. The C2C conflict to coexistence approach provides a framework and methodology through which a tailor-made human-wildlife conflict management strategy can be developed in a holistic way based on the local, cultural, environmental, and social contexts, and as an integrated system connecting various management actions. The C2C approach builds on a participatory, collaborative, and inclusive process involving experience and knowledge available in a specific local context. Effective management of human-wildlife conflict requires taking into consideration the needs of wildlife and people. Therefore, the C2C approach sets out four outcomes that should be achieved. Wildlife thrives alongside human presence, habitat sufficient to maintain viable wildlife populations, people able and willing to live alongside wildlife, and livelihoods assets secured against the presence of wildlife. An integrated approach to human-wildlife conflict management means that human-wildlife conflict is recognized as a system and that the six elements of human-wildlife conflict management, which are understanding interactions, policy and governance, prevention, response, mitigation, and monitoring, must be accounted for in any management program and should not be implemented in isolation. All actions within the C2C approach are to be implemented following four fundamental guiding principles. Tolerance and resilience are specifically important because some level of negative impact and risk will always remain when living with wildlife. Responsibility should be shared on all levels among all stakeholders and partners, including affected communities. Finally, human-wildlife conflict management must incorporate holistic analyses of drivers, their impacts, and social dynamics. The C2C approach, implemented stepwise, follows an iterative process of adaptive management. In step 1, gather all available information on impacts, drivers, and social dynamics affecting conflict and coexistence through the context screening. In step 2, identify and analyze all stakeholders who are affected by, are interested in, and have an influence on human-wildlife conflict and its management. In step 3, conduct the C2C assessment as a standardized quantitative study to assess the perceptions on the status of human-wildlife conflict and its management according to the outcomes of the C2C framework and its human-wildlife conflict management elements, with context information and stakeholder roles in mind. Informed by these three steps, conduct action planning and implementation through a co-design process with stakeholders, which is step 4, and implement human-wildlife conflict management actions from small to large scale, which is steps 5 and 6. Step 7, which is evaluation and learning, considers the effectiveness of integrated human-wildlife conflict management actions leading to enhanced learning and increased understanding of the current context, all leading to adaptive management as needed. Throughout the process, monitoring and adaptation continuously tracks the performance and effectiveness of the C2C process, enabling reflection and adaptive management. The C2C approach is currently being piloted in and has received input from diverse landscapes and sites across 4 continents. Initial results are positive. Lessons learned from the pilot sites have been incorporated in a finalized step-by-step guide on the C2C approach, which will soon be published along with a set of tools that provide additional information, resources, and guidance on the various components of implementation. Thank you.